What if the hard place that you're in today is the pathway to the breakthrough tomorrow? Okay, Joseph didn't stumble into promotion. We know it wasn't luck or him hustling. It was divine positioning. And he was forgotten for 2 years, but he was still faithful. He interpreted dreams, he stewarded wisdom in chains, and he chose character over comfort. So when Pharaoh had a dream that no one could interpret, Joseph was prepared and he was ready. He didn't let the prison silence him or his gift. See, prophetic gifts don't need platforms. They just need obedience. And Joseph wasn't self-promoting. He was spirit prepared. So let's dive into Genesis chapter 41 as we're continuing into the Life of Joseph series. It says, Pharaoh has 2 disturbing dreams. One about fat cows being devoured by skinny cows, and another about full heads of grain being swallowed by thin ones. And none of the magicians or wise men in Egypt could explain the dreams. And then suddenly, the cupbearer remembers Joseph, 2 years late, but right on time on God's calendar. And Joseph is pulled from the prison. He cleaned up, he was brought before Pharaoh, and when Pharaoh says, "Can you interpret my dream?" Joseph, he doesn't flex. He says, "I cannot do it, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires." Joseph had the wisdom, but he didn't take the glory. That's the posture of someone who's been refined in the fire. He then interprets the dream by the Spirit of God. There will be 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. And he doesn't stop there. Joseph gives a strategy. Pharaoh didn't just need revelation, right? He needed a leader to step up. And Joseph carried both. Because of this prophetic insight and wise counsel, Pharaoh makes a bold move and he says, "You shall be over my house. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you." Joseph goes from being forgotten to favored. He goes from inmate to influence, from waiting to reigning. In this one chapter, we see this play out. God didn't forget him. He was preparing Egypt for Joseph, right? And Joseph for Egypt. So let's stop for a second and ask ourselves, are we still using our gifts while we're waiting? Are you still pointing to God even when no one's applauding you? Sometimes God doesn't elevate us until we've been tested in the shadows. Because the palace, it needs more than just the talent, right? It needs more than just the gift. It needs purity. It needs wisdom, humility. And Joseph didn't let the prison define him. He let it refine him. And that's why God could trust him with nations. So your pit may not be permanent, but your posture while you're in it, that's what determines what comes next. So here's what I want us to reflect on, and kind of what I want you to take on here is that if you haven't already, go watch sessions 1 through 3 of the Life of Joseph. You can find those here on TikTok or on my YouTube channel. If you're in a season of waiting, if you've been overlooked, if your gift feels unused, stay faithful, stay humble, stay ready, because when God says it's time, everything changes. If you're trusting God's timing over your own, I want you to comment below. And this is your palace, okay? This is your season to prepare. I'm going to see you in session 5. See you soon.